Hello, welcome to this summary of web technologies that you can use to assist your students with revision. The first example today is Poplet, and Poplet is a free concept mapping or spider diagram based tool that allows either students to develop their own or you to develop for students some revision concept webs. All you need to do is to go to poplet.com and you can log in and you can get going. So let's have a look at a Poplet that I've started to pre-populate, so you can have a look and see how it looks when we get into the program. So as you can see here, I've developed one on tectonic hazards revision, and you can see already that what you can do is you can add these little boxes that are called popples, and inside them you can write text or you can add photos, and even here there's an embedded YouTube clip that can play if you want to view the live version. Now you've also got the ability, if you want to actually print these off as PDFs using the settings box. So you can there's a print option there, and there's an export option as well, so you can export them either as a JPEG, as a picture, or as a PDF when you've completed them. So in terms of how do I go about adding to my Poplet, well, as you can see already, I've created a series of boxes. Now something else that I might want to add here to this box is on volcanoes. I drag out the little line here to make a new Poplet, and I can add one here and I can write something in the box. So for these volcanoes I might want to look at types of volcano, and then I might want to drag out from here a further box which might look at volcanoes at constructive plate margins, and I might want to look at here, for example, volcanoes at destructive plate margins. What I also might want to do is I might want to, as you can see, that's a spelling error in here, so I can go back and very easily correct that. What I also might want to do is then add some pictures. So I can add a box in here, I can then click on the picture icon, and I can either upload things from a range of sources. I can upload a YouTube clip or something from my files and folders. So I might here want to add an example of Mount Etna, which has been erupting recently. I can open that. Okay, and when that's uploaded, that then links directly into my Poplet, and the box will come up then with the image, and I can then move that in any location should I choose to. There it is. Okay, if I want to move any of these boxes at any time because it's premature crowded, I can do that as well. So as you can see, quite quickly you can start to develop a concept web or a spider diagram of linked ideas to put ideas for revision together. As you can see here, I've got a link to a YouTube clip about the Haiti earthquake that will play in here as well, and I can link that just by clicking on the appropriate button. So that's Poplet. Okay, so next technology you might want to consider using is a technology called Socrative.com. Socrative allows you to develop some online assessments that can be used either as a diagnostic assessment to see how students are doing with their revision, or just to test knowledge for certain aspects of courses that they're studying. And the joy of this is they can be answered on any device at any time. All you need to do is open the quiz and then give students the opportunity to respond to it. So let's log in as a teacher. So if you visit Socrative.com, you can set up an account using a login and a password. So I'm just going to log in as myself here. Of course, it helps if you type it incorrectly. And once I've logged in, you see you get a sort of a screen here with a series of options, and crucially it tells me that my room number is 11509. So Socrative works on on room numbers. So if I want students to complete my quizzes when they log on as a student, and they don't require any email or any password to do that, all they require is my room number, and they can then go in and do the quiz, and they're asked for their name, and then they're asked to complete the quiz. They can either do it at their own pace, or you can direct the pace if you want to do it in class, in terms of when the questions come up for them to answer. So you can see that the sort of question types you can go for: multiple choice, true, false, and short answer activities for the single question activities. Now, you could simply ask a question in class and get them to select the answer just as a one-off question, but actually for this purpose I've actually created a quiz. So I'm going to show it to you. So if I go to manage quizzes, I can go to select a saved quiz, and I've actually created one called Coastal Processes quiz, and what I want to do is I want to edit quiz. So what happens then is another screen comes up, and then I can share this if I like, actually. So if I want to give this to the rest of the teachers in my department, or I want to give it to just share it so that anyone can use it across Britain or anywhere else, it gives you a code, and that code is the storage code on Socrative, so you can search for the quiz, and others can then use it. Okay. So question 1 in the quiz will be enter your first and last name. That's obviously for the students when they log in to do the questions. I've then got some multiple choice questions I've created here, which the following is not a process of coastal erosion. What I've done is I've obviously ticked the correct answers for each question, so that when the students do the question, they know how well they did. They get instant feedback on their answers. Okay. For short answer questions, I've given what the explanation should be. Alright, and also crucially, you can give feedback to the students in the questions as well. So in the explanation, for example, for question number 6 there on the multiple choice, it actually explains to them that, for example, answer 4 isn't what they're looking for and the reason why, so it can correct their misconceptions as well. Alright, and if I wanted to add more, I can simply choose the type of question I want to add. I can go through then and write those questions in, and then when I'm finished with my quiz, I can save it. Okay, and then that goes back to my room, and then when I want to start the quiz with the students, if I go back to my main screen, I can go to the start quiz option. I can choose coastal processes, and I can choose whether the students do it at their own pace or whether I choose to pace the quiz myself. For example, if I did a teacher paced quiz, what I'm then doing is I'm waiting for the students to come into the room. But obviously I've not got any with me today, so they're not able to respond. But you can do that, you can give the questions, and then you can see the results as they come in. The results display live on the screen in the form of graphs, and what's really nice is at the end of the activity you can download the results. So if I went to end activity, I can either email myself a report to the email address I used to set up my account, or I can download the report and see the results from the students, so I can see how well they got on in the quiz as well, which can help me then with perhaps my intervention work and the support I need to give them in the following lesson. So that's Socrative. So next technology I'm going to show you is a technology called Padlet.com. This used to be a technology called Woolwisher, and what this allows you to do is collect a series of ideas about a topic or a theme on a page using a series of post-it notes that students can contribute to. So in this instance it could be a series of ideas to support revision on a particular topic. So what you do is you go in, you sign in, you get an account, again with an email and a password, and then you can start to construct your wall that you want your students to contribute to. So when you get into the page that allows you to start to create your wall, you can see basically so far I've got a blank canvas, but we can soon change that by modifying our wall. And we might then give our title, and in this case I want to do something on impacts of climate change, and in the description I'll give usually what I would do here is give the students a detailed description or a clear description of what I want them to do. So in here I would write down, give examples of the impacts of climate change in different locations around the world. Okay, so if I've done that, the students have got a clear idea of what they've got to do. I'm going to add a little image there as well to complete that particular part, so that the wall's ready in terms of the information I want to give the students. But what I then need to do is to perhaps choose a more appropriate wallpaper from the right hand side. So I click on the wallpaper option and select perhaps the most appropriate image, which in this case is the preset sky, and then I can edit the privacy settings as well. So for the privacy settings, you've got different options. You can make a completely private wall, which you can only have accessible via email. So you email the link out to people you want to use it. But what I'd go for is the hidden link, where no one in the public can find the link, but you can share it publicly if you wish. And that's the easiest way really to share it with your students. But if you're going to do that, the best thing to do then is to moderate posts. And what this allows you to do is to see the posts that come in and the comments that come in before they're posted on the wall. So if anything that's perhaps inappropriate or is perhaps not even correct in this instance can be deleted before it goes onto the wall. When you've then completed that, you can submit. You've saved your changes. And then you can go on to the address to change the address. So on the preset here is DM, YQ, and so on, and that's perhaps more complicated. So if you changed instead to something like climate change impacts, it would be easier for the students when they're typing it into their address bar when they want to share it. So you can pick that one, and then that will make that available for you. Okay, and as you can see then, we've then been given the instruction double click to post anywhere, so when the students see the wall, they'll be able to do this as well. And there is a notifications bar on the right hand side as well, and that will tell you when you've got new posts that come up on the wall as well.
Hello, change of voice now. I'm afraid you're stuck with me for this video. This is going to look at how to create a simple podcast. So on all these machines, if you go to start and type in sound recorder, you'll see this icon here with the microphone. Click that, it should pop up on the desktop, and you can see it's taking the level of my voice now as well. And this could be used for revision, for creating a simple podcast with maybe revision bites for the students. So again, it's a simple case of clicking start recording. Hello and welcome to this podcast on how to develop some revision materials for students using creative technology. You click stop recording once you've finished. You get the pop-up box where you're going to save this audio file. I'll call it podcast 1. And you can save it in your documents, or I tend to save it in music here. So click on music, scroll down, and then click save, podcast 1. And it's as simple as that. If you want to find your podcast then, you open up music, scroll down, and there it is, podcast 1. And then if you click that, you can it will play, or you can upload it to IlearnWales as well. Okay, just a little snapshot there. Thanks for listening.